Rob and Slim Show.
Hey guys, it's Isaac Thorne.
Isaac, how are you, brother?
You know, I'm good, and I've been answering that. I've been trying to be topical lately, so I've been answering that question with like better than Cosby and better than Trump. But I think tonight I'm going to answer it as better than Kathy Griffin.
I don't know if it gets better than Trump right now. Kafifi's pretty cool, and yeah, like she's probably like high-fiving her people. She's just apologizing to the public, but
this is the most famous she's been in the past like 20 years. So I think she's doing pretty well.
Oh man,
like bad publicity.
Right? It's still publicity.
Bad publicity is still good.
She's like, how do I get my name out there? Give me that head. Give me that head. I just fail to see the humor in it. I think it's like just tacky.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, I've always thought it was. There are lines, you know, and if you want yourself to be investigated by the Secret Service, sure, go ahead and do something.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, that's
Who
it's
doesn't
never
want a photo of their bloody head though? Like, I don't understand.
even Gore waited. They mutilated Obama before he became president, so nobody cared.
So it's all good. No harm, no foul, right?
As long as it's before the inauguration. You're
How
good.
did they know he was going to be president?
Oh, it was when he was running.
Oh, okay.
They mutilated all the contenders on stage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's different. That wasn't like a targeted thing.
No, that's equal opportunity.
Yeah, Target didn't do that. Why are you bringing them into this? That's a Walmart thing. Or Kmart. That's definitely a Kmart gimmick.
Yeah, probably Kmart. Last ditch effort.
I don't know how they're still around.
Because of that shit.
Yeah, because of all their Guar concerts they promote. That's it. The other broad went to jail. What was her name? I don't know. Martha Stewart? And then Guar bought Kmart. Like, it's Guarmart now.
Walmart.
God, I wish.
You'd be the only customer.
I totally
This Guar
would.
concert has been sponsored by Kmart.
Isaac, what are you doing? Are you writing a book right now? What's going on, dude?
I'm compiling a book. I've got my my short stories out there that I'm actually compiling into paperback that I'm going to release this fall. It's going to have all the stuff I've already released plus a few others that have so far not seen the light of day.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's what I'm pulling together right now, and it's a little bigger job than I anticipated. So
Really?
I'm glad I waited till October. You know,
what's so hard about it?
well, it's not that it's hard. It's that I'm having trouble finding the time to do it because I have I have like everybody else who is a writer. Unless you're Stephen King, I have a day job. So
Okay.
you know, and plus you go back into the stuff you've already put out there, and you're like, man, I wish I had written it this way, or you know, you keep growing as a writer, and you look back at your older stuff, and there's stuff you want to tweak.
Are you doing that with this? With that? Are you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't want to be too George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. There's no Ewok upgrades or anything like that.
New Cantina band scene.
Right, yeah.
Oh man, how did Decision Paralysis? Did that sell a lot of copies?
I wouldn't say a lot.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Yeah, well, no, don't feel bad. Honestly, I'm an indie author, man. We do what we can, and it does sell. Somebody bought a copy today, in fact.
Cool, that's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, if you're an indie author, if you've got a sale every now and then, you know, in these days with so many indie authors out there, then I think you can call yourself a minor success.
Yeah, I agree. That's how
As long as someone's paying attention, it counts.
Right, absolutely. And I'm not trying to reach the entire world. I'm trying to reach people who like funny horror like I do. You know.
That's what I was thinking earlier about the show too. Like, I'm just shocked we get so many, so not colossal numbers, but that the fact that anybody wants to hear our stupid asses, like, I'm shocked at that.
Oh, it's your show's awesome. I tune in every week. I mean,
know,
I don't typically catch it live, just because of commute times and stuff like that on day, but when it's, I usually catch it on SoundCloud when it's up on SoundCloud. But,
awesome.
But yeah, I have to tune into Robin Slim.
Wow, thank you, dude. What's been your favorite Robin Slim show this season?
Oh, this season. I would have to say the last episode I was on, which was the Halloween episode.
That was cool.
That was a cool episode.
Yeah.
I Bleeding Critic and Elroy Aiken and all those folks. That was not
Joe Philip.
Pony.
Phil Pony. His read was amazing. The skeleton rape.
That was a rad show. That was Slim's idea too. Like, I don't remember what it was, but he's like, yeah, like definitely get Joe, definitely get all the horror guys. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
that was awesome.
Yeah, man. And who was your favorite intern? Did you vote on the Slambo or Amanda poll?
I didn't vote. I didn't vote. I don't know enough. And apologies, I don't know enough about Amanda yet.
That's all right.
That's fine. That's fine.
To put the vote in there. So I would lean Slambo. I couldn't be objective. I would lean Slambo.
I just went against Slambo. As did 75% of everybody else. See,
I did like the was it the Slambo Sings contest from, what was it, last week or the week before?
Yeah, that was a few weeks prior.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was good. Who do you prefer? Do you prefer Slambo and Ron or the Driz and Frankie?
I like Driz and Frankie.
They are a winning combo.
They are.
I see boy band in there.
Yeah. We got a
Frankie and the
summer
Driz.
tour. Frankie and the Driz. And you're a groupie, Slambo. You set our equipment up.
Touring with 98 Degrees and New Kids on the Block.
Isaac, what are some of your favorite horror films or books?
My favorite film of all time is Fright Night, and it was the first, the '80s Fright Night, not the remake. Although I'm not going to bash the remake. It was good for what it was, but I like the '85 Tom Holland Fright Night because it had that blend of horror and comedy that I strive for, and it was the first horror movie to kind of appeal to me in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's my favorite, and my favorite novel is probably I Am Legend.
Wow. Yeah. I never read that, but the movie I really enjoyed.
Yeah, well, and it's been several different movies over the years, but
oh wow,
yeah, like Omega Man and Last Man on Earth or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and then of course the most recent one, the Will Smith one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the novel is, and it's a short novel. You'd call it a novella today, I imagine, but it's really well done, and when you read it, it was written like back in the 50s or 60s.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask.
But it doesn't read that way. At least not to me. I didn't think it read that way. It has kind of a timeless feel to it. So
nice. That's cool.
Who was the author of that one?
Richard Matheson.
Okay.
And if you like the Twilight Zone, he did a lot of episodes of the Twilight Zone. He did Hollow Man. He did the movie Somewhere in Time was based on one of his books. So,
what was Hollow Man? The one with what's his name?
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Nicolas Cage?
Or was that Kevin Bacon? It might have been
Nicolas
Kevin
Cage. No, it was Nicolas Cage.
That, I believe it was also a remake.
I was gonna say, I know there were
original
two
Hollow
versions
Man
of
2.
it.
Did he write Stir of Echoes?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was another great movie.
The movie was great. I read the book. The book was okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kevin Bacon. You can't go wrong with
I
that.
think I liked. That was one where I actually liked.
Definitely.
That was one where I liked the movie better than I liked the book.
That's you usually
rare.
don't hear that.
Yeah, that's rare.
Yeah. There are those. There were usually I find that like crime dramas, I like the movie better than I like the book. Like there was a Harrison Ford movie called Presumed Innocent back in the 80s or 90s, and I tried reading the book and I could not get through it.
Oh man. What I saw Diggum, dude. It won a lot of awards this year.
It won one award. The screenplay did. It was nominated and selected for several others. I did like toward the end of last year. After I released the short story, I did an audio version of it, and then I thought, you know what, I could probably do a short screenplay out of this. So I wrote one and I submitted it to a bunch of festivals, and it won the Best Violence Award in the Chemical Film Festival.
Nice.
And it was selected for like five others, including today I got notified that it was selected for the Fear Awards. So
Wow.
Nice.
yeah,
That's fucking awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
first time I've ever tried anything like that. So
Is it just written for a screenplay, or did you film some yet?
I have not filmed anything yet. I just did it as a screenplay, and it would be cool to have it produced. But even if it never gets to that, it's a slightly different take on the original story. And I was able to, I mean, from more of the creative aspect of it, I kind of enjoyed getting a different point of view of that character and that situation, and being able to describe things visually in the screenplay that I wasn't able to do in the short story, not in the same way anyway.
Yeah.
So, and the screenplay is going to be in the paperback as well. So,
Oh, it's gonna be like added into this. Like, is it gonna be added in the story, or like just an extra in the book?
it's going to be an extra.
Cool.
Cool.
Can you give us like kind of a quick synopsis of the film?
Well, it's the same story. Diggum is a cemetery caretaker, and he loses his wife and son in a house fire, and he's angry. His faith, his religion, dictates that if a body is burned up, like cremated, that it can't be resurrected for the judgment day. And Diggum believes this, so he's angry with God for having destroyed the afterlife opportunities of his wife and child. And he decides to get revenge on God by taking away every other deceased person's ability to be resurrected on Judgment Day.
Wow.
So he's digging up bodies and burning and lighting them on
Yes.
fire.
Yo, that's rad.
That's badass.
Does he take shit first, like Rolexes and wedding rings, or does he just not care about that? Because
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that.
I'd be doing a little looting if I could too.
See, there's a whole other aspect of the character I just didn't even address.
He's got to pay. He's got to pay for his addiction.
You've got to buy the matches somewhere.
How are you getting this Rolex again, Diggum? And that's the guy at the pawn shop. And if you want to cast that guy in the pawn shop in the movie, I'm your guy. Because I just
Pawn shop.
Be Frankie.
and the pawn shop just has to be named Pawn Shop. Like that's
There you go.
that's it.
The pawn
Pawn
shop.
shop.
Have you ever thought, Isaac, about like a graphic novel or a comic book version?
Oh man, I would love to see a graphic novel version of that story, and I'm not sure why that one in particular. It's just when I was writing it, that's how I imagined it.
Wow.
Was in sort of like the Walking Dead line drawing style, you know. And I would love to see somebody take that story and either do like a graphic novel of it or do kind of a storyboard animation with it. You know, not like a full-fledged Pixar thing, but a line drawing animation that's got, you know, slight movement in it.
Yeah, that's like there was one we had on we have the shirt Dark Moon. Yeah, that's kind of like that. Yeah, it's just like
cool.
Like I said, slight movement. It's cool. Yeah. Isaac, would you be able to read us an excerpt of one of your books?
Absolutely. I read an excerpt of Diggum my first time on here, so I decided to pick an older one this time and read you the first few pages of Hoppers, which before Diggum was probably my favorite of my stories. So whenever you guys are ready, I'll start.
Yeah, I'm going to mute the mics now.
All right. This is from Hoppers. The bump knocked the iPhone right out of his hand. He watched his half-formed text message tumble in slow motion end over end through the air, where it ultimately struck the windshield, flickered, and then disappeared into blackness as the device ricocheted off the glass. From there, it bounced off the canvas of the passenger seat and crash-landed on the floorboard, face down and just out of reach of his pudgy right arm. "Well, fart muffins," he exclaimed. Not the most creative expletive, but it would do. Ain't that always the way? And so it was. It didn't matter how many times he diverted his gaze from the iPhone's minuscule on-screen keyboard toward the road in front of him. It didn't matter how deftly he could one-thumb those letters in the proper sequence without having to look down and make a correction. As soon as his eyes left the road long enough to locate the send button or to ensure that the dang old autocorrect wasn't messing with his meaning, he'd hit something in the road and the whole mess would go flying. He supposed it would only be a matter of time before the repeated phone-to-ground impacts took their toll on the tiny electrical circuits inside the device. "Fart muffins!" he shouted again, smashing his meaty fist into the soft-molded plastic of the dash in front of him. Muffins made of farts. He slowed the circa 1990 Saturn SC to a stop, shifted it into reverse, and guided it onto the narrow shoulder of the little two-lane stretch of state highway that he called home. He flipped the hazards on, shoved open the door, and stepped out into the golden light of the late spring afternoon. The phone could wait. Better to check the car for damage. Find out exactly what he'd hit. Today he drove the Saturn. Tomorrow it might be an F-150, probably a Mustang on Friday. Because when you hired Mike Bragg to fix a car, you bet your bum diggity that he put it through its paces before he'd let you trust your life to it in the tangled mess of suicidal rush hour that defines a late weekday afternoon in Middle Tennessee. Besides, if one of the state's finest happened by while he was poking out along the side of the road, he wouldn't want it to look like he'd been doing something as careless or illegal as texting and driving, especially in a customer's car. Crouching alongside the right front tire of the SC, he balanced his elbows on his knees and ran the thick fingers of his right hand over his stubbly red sandpaper dome. Crap on a Ritz cracker. It was not difficult to surmise what had happened. Crimson drops of warm blood sluiced onto the tire from beneath the edge of the fender well. They trickled down the wall of black rubber and oozed into a thin semicircle around the edge of the rim. When he decided to drive again, the tire would no doubt create a nice splashy color wheel effect against the lower half of the silver passenger door. Pinched in the groove between the fender well and its chrome custom accessory stripe was a small tuft of brown and white fur. Mike plucked the fluff from where it hung, sniffed it for reasons he didn't quite understand, and then held it up to the bridge of his nose for closer examination. The hairs were short and coarse, the kind you might find on a small dog, an older dog at that. "Bees in the cheese dep," he muttered, then heaved a sigh. "Cheese on a bee's knees, I mean. Sure hope I didn't kill some big-eyed kid's stupid mutt." The car was neither dented nor scratched after all. A little elbow grease and it would clean up fine. A child's broken heart, on the other hand, was something an angrier man than he might want him to pay for out of his ass.
Nice, dude. That was awesome.
That was great, man.
Thank you.
I love that guy's use of language.
Yeah.
He definitely has a very good grasp on language.
Yeah.
Cheese on a bee's knees.
Fart muffins. Muffins made of fart.
Mike Bragg has a way with words.
He's a wordsmith.
Oh, for
Yes.
Susie.
Totes Malotes, dog. Isaac, are you a fan of the Rick and Morty?
Oh, I love Rick and Morty. I actually haven't seen it since the April Fool's episode. I don't know if they've released anything since then.
No, I think it's coming in August, Slim said. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, dude, they wait forever, and that was just kind of like a teaser.
If they don't come out with it, you're held responsible now, Slim.
Yeah.
So,
He's going to get bare bottom spanked.
it's on record.
2 hands are better than 1. Robin Slambo.
The paddle.
Oh, man.
Now I'm all curious as to whether that April Fool's episode was like a one-off April Fool's thing or whether it is all about the sauce.
That's what I'm wondering, too. Like, yeah, was that just going to be like, yeah, that never happened?
Maybe that's just like going through his head or something.
Yeah, that's why he's in prison or something. Yeah, totally. But either way.
I just can't stop thinking about the Szechuan sauce.
That would be crazy if they do a whole season where every episode is just fake.
That would be wild.
Based on the quest for the sauce.
The Szechuan dipping
The
sauce.
Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan dipping sauce, Morty.
My favorite thing about that episode was the detail they put into the Shoney's restaurant, though. I don't know if you've ever been into a Shoney's, but that's what the mugs look like.
Really? I've never been in one.
Yeah, that's the Shoney's logo on their coffee mugs. That whoever drew that went to a Shoney's for research.
Slim and Slambo didn't even know that was a real place. Like I knew that was a real place. But...
I didn't know, and then I saw it happenstance for something else, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because I thought it might be like a Denny's, like they were making fun
like
of Denny's
Friendly's.
or something. Yeah.
Something like that,
is.
you know.
I love Shoney's. I love Shoney's.
Like I said, I've never been there, but I knew it was real. I like the Waffle House too.
Symbolically
I've
speaking,
never had Waffle House either.
Waffle House is all right, man.
symbolically speaking, Shoney's is my home.
I gotta take a shit.
Let's get. He's not homeless then. He's got a home. The local Shoney.
Yup. Isaac, thank you so much for talking to us, brother.
Wow, that's
Absolutely, it was a pleasure. I'm
Always
glad
is.
to be back anytime.
Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on the web at isaacthorne.com with an E. You can find me most of the time on Twitter at Isaac R. Thorne, also with an E.
Awesome, dude. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
You too.
Take care, Isaac.